Welcome, everyone. This is our information call for our 2026 meditation teacher training. And this year I am co-teaching the classes with Michael Galyon, and it's such an honor and a pleasure. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, good to be here.
So I am in Boulder, Colorado. Michael is in New York, and we've got a number of the teachers who are going to be in the training with us as well. I'll introduce them in a bit. Um, so just come on in. And if you want, if you're here live, you can share where in the country, in the world you are in the chat, just so people can see who they are here with. And I just want to say this call is just to help you explore the option of coming and doing teacher training with us. If there's a call inside of you of learning how to teach presence, of learning awareness practices, if you want to integrate meditation into some other work that you do, perhaps you're a therapist or a healer or a teacher. Cool. Hello, everyone. Ecuador, Colombia. Oh, Columbia, South Carolina. Cool. Minnesota. Wonderful, everyone.
Yes.
Hi, Pennsylvania, Washington. Great, great, great. New York. And so this training is for anyone interested in learning to master meditation for themselves, and then taking some of those tools and sharing it with the people around them, whether it's professionally or just as a hobby or as a passion. So I think the way I'd like to start is by describing a bit of the program. Me and Michael will both share, and I will then share my screen, go over some of the logistics and the details, because I've been getting emails with a lot of these questions. So I want to try to answer all of them. We'll try to answer all of them, as many as we can during this hour. And then we'll leave some time at the end. Then the other teachers can introduce themselves. And then we'll leave some time at the end for a Q&A. Does that sound good? Cool. All right. So I want to start by just sharing a bit of the structure of the training. So it is 12 months long, and we're going to do it in 3-month modules. So the first 3 months, we're going to learn meditation, master meditation for ourselves, where me and Michael will be teaching you the techniques that we use and that we teach. And we'll go into detail into some of those in a bit when I share my screen. So first 3 months, mastering meditation for ourselves, deepening into our practice, finding discipline, opening our energy up. Even though maybe you've been meditating for a while, hopefully we can bring another dimension to it and take you a few steps deeper. And then the second 3 months, we're going to get into mastering teaching meditation, finding your voice, how to start a meditation, how to guide someone through, integrating the techniques that we learn, practicing on each other, all of that in the second 3 months. So then we're 6 months in. And then the third module, months 6 to 9, we get into how to choose where you want to teach. Is it going to be online, for example, on YouTube or Spotify? Michael podcasts and does Instagram and TikTok and all the things. And we teach on Insight Timer. So are you going to be online, and how do you choose a channel? And then also, maybe you want to teach in person? How do you go about doing that? Maybe you want to take one-on-one clients. How do you coach people in meditation? Perhaps you want to write a blog or write a book or do all of it at once. Some of us are very creative. We like to go in 10 directions. Maybe you just do one thing really, really well. We have a group of teachers that come in specifically to help us with the business side of things. I was actually just telling Michael earlier today, I ran into a neighbor yesterday who took another meditation teacher training, really enjoyed it, but they never taught her actually how to go out in the world and do it. Where do I find classes, students, clients? How do I make a video? What microphone do I buy? All of those things. I spent a lot of time with her yesterday, just walking her through how to set up her space and her microphone so that she could teach online. And so we want to make sure that you have everything you need, not just the tools of meditation and teaching meditation, but how to actually engage with the world and find your students. So that's the third module, months 6 to 9. And then the fourth is going to be self-practicum. So instead of teaching twice a month, me and Michael, we're going to teach once a month, the last 3 months, and you're going to spend more time practicing, teaching, recording meditations, finding finding your lane, and we'll still have all the other pieces. So that's a very big, brief overview. I just wanted to give you the 30,000-foot view in case you're like, I've only got 5 minutes to listen to you guys. So that's going to be our 1 year. We're going to end with a graduation ceremony. Once you fulfill all the requirements, which we'll go over in a moment, we'll give you your certificate. And then we're empowering you to go teach these awareness presence practices, let's call them, in whatever format that you want to do it. And so I just wanted to start with that brief overview. And now that I did that, maybe Michael, me and you could just share a little bit, just very short versions of our own teaching experience, what we're doing, and our journeys. So for those of folks who know you but don't know me, or vice versa, could just get a sense of us.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to have everybody here. I'm excited to get to meet you. I see some really familiar names from social media, from Insight Timer, from people who I've seen online, and good to see you here today. So, just to give a little bit of background on of kind of how I got into this crazy profession and what I'm doing. So my path actually started as I was a performer, so using my voice in a very, very different way. So I was a singer who has a degree in musical theater and then moved to New York to pursue that. And while I was there, I started teaching preschool. And so moved from being a performer into being actually a preschool teacher. During that time as a preschool teacher was dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and found mindfulness meditation as the way to move through that. And in this weird turn of events, ended up taking that mindfulness education that I was learning through my own practice, moving that into the preschool classroom and starting to teach mindfulness to 2 and 3 year olds, which kind of created how I still approach things. It's through that true beginner's mind of being able to take things that are for many people the first time that they're ever learning these things and being able to take it into digestible bites. And so when I was teaching, I just became really passionate about it and then ended up getting my mindfulness teacher certification and being able to start teaching there. From there, that started to try and move that into social media, knowing that social media is this crazy world where there's so much chaos going on, and trying to bring these many moments of mindfulness and many moments of calm into the chaos of the scroll. And from there, it just kind of took off. And it became this world where instead of just teaching to one student in a class, I was able to reach millions of people through the internet. And so when I met David, it was this kind of really similar way of approaching the world and seeing the world, but coming from very, very different backgrounds. And so when we talked about creating this teachers training, I think we both had this idea of taking much of our backgrounds and being able to implement it, bring in some amazing teachers, and to be able to create this program, which is going to help for people to come no matter where they are, whether they're therapists or coaches or teachers or just parents who are wanting to be more mindful, to bring meditation practices into their daily lives, to give them those tools to be able to bring that into this world. And so I'm thrilled to be able to get to do this. I'm excited to be able to work with David and with this an amazing host of teachers who you're going to meet. So that's a little bit about me. Over the next year, if you're with us, you'll learn a whole lot more. But for now, I'll pass it over to David.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael. Can I just share this about Michael as well? He's been such a pleasure you've been such a pleasure to work with so far. He's so easygoing, lets things roll off quickly, and he's just like, yeah, whatever you want to do, sure, let's do it. Let's play. And that is the energy and the temperament I think you want in a meditation teacher, someone that is moving with the flow of life and not fighting against the current, which is something we will be exploring. And Michael's also a master at emotional regulation and teaching people how to process, feel, experience, heal with their feelings. And if you ever listen to his podcast, you will hear him walk you through a journey with one of his clients and how they got through a very specific energy. And every episode is just an amazing master class in how to get through an energy. And so he's very good at teaching one-on-one, doing coaching, guiding people through pain and through energy. And he'll, yeah, I'm sure you're going to be bringing that to the training. So I wanted to just add that you're so good at that piece. Um, and then let me just share a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know me, I've been teaching maybe for about 14 years now. Started meditating as a teenager. I went to live in the ashrams in India in my 20s, and then I spent 7 years at a school, a meditation school in Hawaii. I was the director for a number of years, and then I decided I have island fever. There's not a single good restaurant on this whole island. I'm going to go start teaching online. I moved back to the East Coast where I was from. I fumbled around for a long time. I read every business book I could find. I hired some coaches to help me. It was the beginning of YouTube and podcasting, and it was very early on, and so there wasn't a clear path the way there is now. There's a lot of avenues, a lot. I mean, Michael just within a few years has reached millions and millions of people, which back then would have been really hard. And so I fumbled around for a while, and I had to kind of really learn the hard way on how to present myself, bring myself out into the world, reach students, find students. I was traveling across the US just teaching free workshops and yoga studios just to get in front of people when I got going. And so one of my passions, and this is like literally happened on the street in front of my house yesterday. Spent like 45 minutes with someone who I barely know, just walking through how to buy the right equipment, how to find students online, like all of that we're going to be doing. I did on in front of my house on the path yesterday on the street, and I just have a passion for it for whatever reason. I love walking people through the process and helping them find their potential, bring it out, and share it with the world. Because if we're not doing that with our lives, what in the world are we doing on this planet with our time and our energy? And I do think, unfortunately, most people never rise to their potential. They don't find their passion and share it with the world. They get programmed into just surviving and instead of thriving and doing what they think they're supposed to. And they just kind of fly under the radar, and then they become our clients. So like, help, why am I stuck? Um, and meditation is one of the most powerful tools, I think, in the world to get people unstuck. And let me just define the way I define meditation is the cultivation of awareness. We can cultivate our awareness with our feelings, with our thoughts, with our energy, with our beliefs, with our visions, with our relationships. And so the job of a meditation teacher is to help somebody else cultivate their awareness. I think at the fundamental level. So I'm excited to walk all of you who are going to join us for the year through that process with Michael and the other teachers. So let's actually do that. Let's walk through some of the details of the training. I want to share my screen for a few minutes and just show you some of the details of, so you have all the logistics and information and can make if the decision if this ends up being the right training for you or not. Me and Michael will teach it again in 2035, so you have to wait 10 years if you don't. Just kidding. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen. And let me just do this so I can see. Let me close that. Okay. So so we do start February 5th, and I already got an email, a few of them asking, what if I can't make it live? The times don't work. So we're going to be teaching at 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be, I believe, I'll scroll down on Thursdays and twice a month. If you cannot make it live, if you're in a different time zone and it doesn't work, you can do the recordings. We use a platform called Kajabi, so we can monitor and see that you have done the classes or not. We can see that you have watched the classes. I did joke with Michael before, maybe you're having your dog watch them, but that's the best we can do. But we will also, so let me just scroll down a bit here. So we are going to be doing our main classes with me and Michael, and then we're going to have small groups every month, about 5 to 7 students with one of our teachers, and some of them are here today, where they're going to go over the material, and you'll have time for just more hands-on to ask questions, to do some guided meditation, to practice, and to be in a smaller group where you can hold each other accountable and meet each other and connect and go over the material. So we'll have two main 2 hour classes a month, and then we'll have our group class once a month, our small group class once a month. In When we get into our fourth month, which is level 2, module 2, we're going to start a weekly practicum. It'll be a 30-minute a week space where you can come practice teaching meditation to your cohort. So we'll put you in a Zoom room and we'll connect you with one other person, or it might be two if the numbers are odd, and you go in there and you guide each other in any meditation you choose to do, a visualization, mindfulness practice, a body scan, some breath awareness, emotional regulation, visualization, whatever you decide you want to focus on, because we're all going to be different teachers, and you get to guide another student through that. They can give you a little feedback and they guide you, and you come in and do that, and you start to get your teaching hours and your practice in that way. So that'll happen starting month 4. So every month we have our main 2 classes, our group class, and then we do have optional private mentorship. So if you want to work one-on-one once a month with one of our teachers, you can do that. And we make it very open. So let me just go back to one thing. For the small groups, there'll be many different times on many different days. So you can choose the group that works best with your schedule. And those we ask that you come live. So to graduate, we ask that you come to 75% of your groups throughout the year long live. And then when it comes to the one-on-one mentorship, you get to choose your teacher. We will send you a list of them, and you can stick with one the whole time. You could change them every month. I would suggest sticking with a teacher for 3 months at a time if you're going to do one-on-ones, or 6 months. And then maybe in the business section, you choose a business teacher to guide you if you want that. And this way you get to form relationships with teachers and have some really nice one-on-one mentorship. And that is optional. Um, cool. And then we're going to
Yeah.
use, oh, do you want to add something, Michael?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that's one of the things that we really want to make sure that we're doing is creating flexibility, knowing that people learn in different ways. People are going to learn in different styles, and we don't want you to feel stuck if you're working with a one-on-one mentor and it's just not the right fit for you, because they're not. Sometimes I'm certainly not the right teacher for everyone. David's not the right teacher for everyone. But if this is something where you can have the option to work with several different teachers, it exposes you to so much and just gives you the ability to be able to choose how this is going to work for you to create the best teachers that we can.
Thank you. Exactly right. I am definitely not the best teacher for everyone. We all have different temperaments and styles. And when you meet some of the teachers today, you'll see how everyone has a bit of a different zone of genius. So we're going to have a dedicated Slack channel, and that is where we will communicate as a community. So on that Slack channel, you'll be able to ask questions, meet each other, connect, reflect on your own meditation practice, on your readings, on class, whatever it is that you want. Maybe you can't find a link. Joyce is here. She's going to be one of our tech support, uh, customer support during the training. We're going to have Susie, who's going to be our community support. She'll be in there monitoring the discussion and sharing. She's taken the training before. And we have more team members on the tech side that will be helping as well. There's always someone available if there's an issue. I can't find the recording. When is class? If you're having a spiritual meltdown, that might be a different thing. We'll discuss. Okay. And so all the class recordings will always be available throughout the training. And then we usually leave them available for a number of months. In the past, I've done a year after the training so that you can go back and keep listening, or if you want to go over something again or do a meditation again on a specific topic, it'll all be right there for you. And it's super accessible. Okay. Um, and so the training is, we say it's 250 hours. A lot of that is also your personal meditation practice, and I'll go over some of those details. Let me just scroll down here and find some of those details. There's so much here. Um, okay, so here are the graduation requirements and the breakdown of the training. So we'll have 21 classes with me and Michael. We might bring in some guest teachers alongside of us in some of those classes to give you some specific information. We'll have our monthly small groups that will happen with 5 to 7 students, like I described before. You have optional one-on-ones if you want to do them, and then we ask you to do about 20 hours of teaching throughout the training. So that's coming to practicum. You might decide, I'm going to find some groups, groups of friends or family, and I'm going to teach to them, or go in a community center and teach. So it could be online with us, or you can find your own. And then we just ask you to log that time so you can show us and so that we know that you have been teaching. So that's part of the requirements. Another part of the requirements, towards the latter half of the training, is we're going to ask you to record some of your own guided meditations, and then we're going to have your peers go over them and give you feedback, and you'll give some of your peers feedback. And then one of them will have one of your small group mentors give you feedback. So you get feedback from a teacher as well. I don't know why my screen moves up and down. It's not me, it just does that automatically. And so we're going to ask you to record some guided meditations. It can literally be on your phone. Don't worry about buying all the gear if you're not there yet, and then getting feedback on those meditations. Then there's going to be some required reading, some books, some chapters, anything that we can copy and paste and send you, like a chapter of a book, we will. But if you need to purchase a book, like we want you to read an entire book, we ask that you just find the audio or the Kindle or whatever it is, the physical book, and order it and spend the few bucks on it. So that will be part of it. And then our self-guided meditation practice. So when you do the math, over a year sitting and meditating every day, 20 to 30 minutes, comes out to about 145 hours. Obviously, you can sit more than that, but that would be the minimum. We ask that you sit and meditate during the training every day and deepen into your own practice. And so we do have, we'll have team members that will go over each student's stuff and make sure that you fulfilled all of these requirements, that you watched the classes, that you attended the small groups, that you did your teaching, that you did your guided meditations. And obviously, with the personal meditation practice, you can keep a log of that or a journal for yourself. That's not really something that we can monitor. I'm not into putting a wearable on you and checking. No Whoop on you to check if you're meditating. When all that is said and done, we'll have our graduation and you will receive your certification. Cool. So let me,
And for anyone
yes.
who's looking at this and feeling overwhelmed by it, because I think that's a natural thing to look at this and say, especially there's going to be 10 hours of recorded meditations that we have to do and all of this work that we have to do. Just know that one, it's over the course of an entire year. So we have a year to be through with this. And two, you have teachers with you who are going to guide you through every step of the way, especially and knowing that there are things that if we were to ask you to do 10 hours of recorded sessions right now, you would be scared and you would not know how to do that. But we're going to walk you through and we're going to walk you through what's the equipment that you might want to use. What's the software that you're going to use to record this? What are the scripts that you're going to use to do those? What are the methods that you're going to use to be able to record those? So if there's any fear or any trepidation about that, just know that we're going to be there with you and that you are not alone in this.
Exactly. And if at any point you're overwhelmed or stuck or unsure, we will be here to help. That's what the Slack channel is for, what the community is for, to make sure that you don't fall off the meditation teacher training train. And
Yeah.
if you do, don't worry, it's slow. You can walk and jump back on.
Yeah.
Just a couple quick questions. Someone was asking, they work in a community center. Would this be good for helping the elders there? Absolutely. You can. There is no age limit on the. You could teach 2 or 3 year olds. You could teach anyone who, if they're a century old. everyone can expand their awareness. So absolutely could be helpful. And yes, this recording will be available to everyone to share after this. Yeah, great. Thanks for the questions. Keep them coming. Do we learn voice training? And we'll go into more Q&A
Yeah.
later, but yes, Michael is a master at that and he will walk you through that. Yeah.
Yep.
You could do singing lessons too if you want. That might be a different training though.
That's a different training, but it is, I mean, we will talk about vocal technique. And because that is part of this is there's a lot of strain that goes on your voice, especially when they say that whispering is actually more stressful on the vocal cords than singing or projecting loudly. And so teaching you how to speak in that calm, gentle voice, which allows for you to begin to co-regulate with the listeners and with your clients if you're working one-on-one, that's all going to be part of the training and one of the things that I'm most excited to share with you.
Yeah, I'm excited for Michael to do that piece as well. So that is kind of the bigger picture of the training. There are more details, but is there anything I'm missing with that, Michael? I think that's as much information as I wanted to give out all at once, so it doesn't feel like too much. Uh, I do want to say if the training's not for you, in the first few weeks after it starts, you can have a full refund and be like, you know what? I thought I could do this. I thought it was for me, and it's not for whatever reason. So don't be
Yeah.
concerned if you sign up and it's like you decide, okay, this isn't for me. But if you ask me 3 months in, or you know, that's different because the train's left the station. Keep
Mhm.
using that metaphor. Okay. Um, I would love to introduce some of the other teachers. And by the way, this is the third time we're doing this training. And every time we're refining it and working on making it better. But I've brought back all the teachers from the previous trainings because I love them so much. And I think they're all so amazing. And I've added another teacher. And so maybe we could just go around and y'all can introduce yourself and maybe just take a minute and share a little bit of your background, and just say hi to everyone so they know who you are. I'll pin you all. Who's on my screen first? I'll just go whoever I see first. Jessica, here, let me add you, and you can unmute if you like, and just say hi and share a bit about yourself and the kind of teaching you do.
Hi, everybody. It's really good to be here with you all. I think I'm the new teacher you added.
Yes.
So I'm very honored and grateful to be here with you all. I've been teaching meditation for about 13 years. And the interview I just did with David was just released. And I actually just re-listened to it. I have kind of a background in singing and more punk rock. So not so much musical theater, but more screaming into a mic. Um, but also, I have found that meditation for me personally has really helped me regulate my chronic anxiety. And I started teaching really close to when I started meditating as well. Like, kind of teaching what it was I was learning is sort of what solidified the learning for me. So it's really a huge, huge honor to be here with all of you and to be teaching teachers. Like, this is the dream. This is really like a true dream for me. So I'm totally honored. All the other teachers are incredible. I love David. I love Michael. So I'm just grateful to be here and can't wait to be on this journey with all of you and to learn myself at the same time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica. And yeah, when me and you first met, the first time we had a Zoom call, I think we talked for a really long time. And we're just like, you're so awesome. We got to do this together. And
We
we
did. We talked for like 2 hours about
yeah.
nothing and everything. It was great.
And Jessica is a popular teacher on Insight Timer for those of you who know that app. And that's not the only place that you teach, but it is a place where you can find her work. I think everyone in here, almost every teacher teaches on Insight Timer in some fashion at this point. But Jessica's an OG. She's been on there for since the app launched pretty much. So she's an Insight Timer pro. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Um, all right, so let me see here. Who's next? Ed, why don't you unmute, say hi. Let me add your pin. Let me give you the option to unmute. Now try.
Great. All right. Hi. Hi,
Hello.
it's wonderful to be here again. It's nice to meet you, Michael. I love hearing about what you've been through. We have a lot of similar experiences. Um, I started meditating in 1969 and then started teaching. I've been teaching meditation. over 50 years now. Okay. And I started out in 1969. There weren't many meditation teachers out there. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Osho, a couple of others. So I've been grounded in mantra meditation, the TM movement. Traveled around the world teaching for Maharishi, and it's a great experience. And what came out of that, I think it's important to say this, is that initially everybody started meditation because it was a new thing. But as it started to grow, people wanted to come and meditate, but they were blocked by their stresses, by their traumas, by their shame, by their blame. So I wanted to go out there and meditate and teach the whole world how to meditate, but there was something inside of everyone that was keeping them, including me as well. I mean, I went through that. And so I decided that I needed more than just to teach meditation. I became a coach. And I started coaching people, a life coach, a stress coach, a trauma coach. And I got educated on that. And so now I teach meditation and mindfulness and mantra meditation sometimes, but I really like to help people contact what my first teacher told me. We have 200% of life within us, 100% of an incredible non-local beingness that we are. And we have a body that has a lot of power too. So I'm hoping that I can bring to this course your ability to not only be mindful and calm, but to get in touch with the infinite sources of energy and intelligence and creativity that are within you, and help you get the blocks out of the way so that you can become that meditation teacher that you dream of. So I'm really happy to be here again, and I look forward to this. I really do. Yeah,
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ed. Thank
you
you for
bet.
sharing. And can I just add to your biography that Ed also spent, I think, about 15 years teaching with Don Miguel Ruiz, who, if you ever read The Four Agreements, which I think might be the best selling book on spirituality of all time. Um, and so he also has that, he takes people on retreats to the pyramids in Mexico. And so he has an entire, that whole part, you didn't even mention that whole part of your
Well, you
being.
only gave me a couple of
Yeah.
minutes, but if I may say, the beautiful thing is that when we go into meditation, we think that meditation is going to solve everything. It's going to just take us to our source, right? But we also have a body and a mind that needs to be addressed. And I think the beautiful value that Don Miguel Ruiz gave to me in teaching the Four Agreements and the Toltec Path is that we can't by step our mind and our beliefs. We need to look at them, and we need to embrace them and welcome them and surrender to them. And before that, I was just not doing that. There was a part of me that wasn't growing. I was transcending and I was having wonderful experiences, but in the world, I was I was pretty, I still had stuff to learn. And Don Miguel really, really topped it off and polished the marble for me. And I'm hoping I can help people do that here in this course as well.
Wonderful. Thank
Mhm.
you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And me and Ed are going to be making pizza together soon. I bought the dough. We live near each other. Thank
You're all
you.
invited. Come on.
Let's go make some pizza. Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else do I have here? I know I saw who's next. Let me just look here. Lou, why don't you say hi, Lou? Let me add you and then let you unmute.
Hello, everyone. So good to be back here. Meditation, my background, I would say meditation actually saved my life in many ways. I was someone who was drinking and partying and getting into a lot of dark places, and it's a much longer story, but in essence, I started meditating, and without looking for anything spiritual, it found me, and I had a pretty profound awakening experience that just turned my life upside down. I stopped drinking completely. That was the golden nugget that I've, kept with me the last 10 years of being sober. And so having that experience, I just wanted to tell everyone about it. Like, this is the greatest thing that you could possibly experience. And so I just kind of started sharing it from there. And it's funny, David mentioned in 2017, he was doing 2016, 2017, he was doing those free talks around the country. And I actually went to one of those that David did. And I remember David asking me, like what do you want to like, what are you wanting to do? And I'm like, I want to do what you're doing. And so it's kind of like a full circle moment, just being here and being able to share in this, and to give back to people on their journey of sharing meditation with other people. I think this might sound like a weird thing to say, but meditation in some ways is really easy to teach. I mean, you're just talking and telling people to breathe and to notice things, but it's a lot harder to live and embody. And I think what this training is about breathing it, living it, understanding, because that's really the transmission that you're giving, is your beingness and the work that you're doing on yourself. And I think the beauty of being in a training like this is not only learning all the techniques and the tools and your own practice, but also the amazing teachers and the community. Like, you're going to come out of this with amazing connections, amazing friends, and it's that community of other people doing it that is the placebo of belief in many ways. There's an osmosis in, oh, yeah, like, we can do this. I know the people that are making this work in the world. And so I just want to say that because I think that's such a valuable part in getting around a community like this. And so, so happy to be back for the third year of this with other friends. Michael, I'm excited to meet you. It's really funny. In what was it, level three, David, I think at every turn, David would talk about, like, hey, check out what this guy Michael is doing on Instagram. Like, here's an example of what you can do. So it's fun now to have you in here and yeah, get to share this with all of you. So I look forward to it.
That is true. That's right. I did do that. Whenever I run into someone who it's like, I don't know how to get started, I'm like, look at what Michael does. Uh, and Lou, I'll just to mention, Lou also teaches on Insight Timer, and he's very popular on there. He reaches a lot of students, um, and has built quite the community. And I told Lou this before. I was talking with the COO of Insight Timer, which is the world's most used meditation app. And he said, "Hey, you ever listen to Lou Redman? I'm on his email list and I read all his emails." And Insight Timer has 20,000 teachers, and the COO is like, I love Lou's emails. I love reading them every week. I get them in my inbox. And Lou also podcasts and does so much more, coaches. So you'll get an opportunity to work with him, be in a small group if you like. Thanks, Lou. It's good to see you, my friend, as always. Good to have you back. Yeah. Um, and Lou, oddly, my mom used to go to Lou's classes in New Jersey. That was cool. Yeah. All right. And we have some other teachers. They're not all here. Carrie Beth Ann is quite pregnant at the moment. She's taking a rest. I don't think I missed any that wanted to share right now.
think we have, is Jamie?
Oh, Jamie, where are you not coming up on my screen? Where are you? Where is Jamie? There you are. Sorry, I lost you. All right. Sorry about that, Jamie. Okay.
I couldn't unmute myself. I was in a deep state of panic.
I'm here.
Ah!
Hi, Jamie.
How are you?
Good.
I'm here. I always get nervous introducing myself in these things. But presencing my nerves is very good because then they release.
Can I just share
yeah,
that really quickly,
please.
that when I was living in Los Angeles, I was doing some teaching, but I was looking for a place to teach. And Jamie called me up and was like, I got a place for you. And she got me a job at a really, really nice meditation center where there was tons of students, like 30, 40, 50, 60 a class, full every class. And she brought me into that space, and it was great. Um, and also, then you brought me into some companies like NBC Universal. Jamie does an amazing job teaching in all of these different companies and Hollywood studios, and gets to teach meditation in some of the coolest places. So I'm introducing you that way. Thanks for the job. And we're very old friends. We've taught retreats
Yeah.
together, and it's just so good to see you as always.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wrote the word down while I was listening to you guys. I wrote down holy human because I'm thinking, what sets me apart? And I definitely support those of you that are more esoteric. I'm an animal communicator. I'm a psychic. That's kind of how I came into David's world as well. And meditation for me has really been a way to connect to spirit. It's been a way to connect to my light, to play with the quantum field, to manifest, to get to know the truth of my soul, to hear deeper messages, to access my higher creative brain. And so I use it as a tool. I was trained originally in Reiki, so I'm a Reiki master, and so I really love to, yeah, use it with clients. And like David said, I'm one of those eclectic souls. So if you have lots of passions, I would say I'm a good teacher for you, because I do teach. I teach really cool celebrities and in really cool corporations. But I also am a poet, and I help people find themselves through dance and movement. But the three of them blend together because I help you connect to your spirit. I help you connect to your humanity through self-love and mindfulness and all of these things. And then be of service in the world once you've really anchored and connected to those two things. How can I create a soul-led life and business from somebody who actually lives that, who actually makes her money living from her soul, and is in deep self-honoring of that. So I'm really excited to be here with you guys. I love teaching. I love sharing. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to see you, Jamie. Yeah,
Yeah.
for all of you that have a spiritual bend and you want more of kind of that arena, that direction, Jamie might be a great person to work with.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. So good to see you as always. Yeah. Um, one of the things I love doing is just bringing all my friends in into everything that I do and just creating it together. And there's no teacher in this training that's not a good friend of mine. That's not why I chose them. They're also really good at what they do. So just with our thank you all to all the teachers here who shared. Thank you so much. With our little bit of time left, I'd love to open it just to any questions. You can either raise your hand and ask them verbally, just know you'll be in the recording, or you can, I'll let everyone unmute if they want to, but only unmute if you're talking, please. And if you have a question when asked verbally, go for it, or in the chat that we haven't answered yet, we'll address those as well. And in the meantime, anything you wanted to add, Michael? Did I miss anything?
No, I think we covered a lot. And just a reminder that the slides that we showed at the beginning are actually on the website.
Yeah.
So the website that we shared with you, if you have any, it's pretty detailed. So there's a lot of information that walks you through the curriculum, what we're going to be covering. A lot of questions are on there. But this is your time to ask any and all questions that you have.
Kevin was saying, I would love to make money from my soul. That's great. Yeah, thanks for that, Jamie. I think we all do. Isn't that one of the great goals of life is to turn your passion into your work and to be able to share that with everyone? That's what me and Michael do. That's what all the teachers here do. And every teacher in teacher training makes a full living doing this work. And so they're not just part-timing it. They've all kind of crossed that threshold. And so
Yeah.
that's why I brought them in to show you that it can be done. Yeah. Now, that being said, some of you are not going to be meditation teachers. You might be a therapist, a healer, a parent, a leader of some kind, and you integrate this into your work. Someone was saying they work with elders at a community center. Absolutely. So maybe you teach kindergarten or preschool and you integrate these tools. So by no means do you have to be 100% 9 to 5 meditation teacher.
And a lot of this is about your journey with this as well, and your understanding of meditation and what it can do for you. The first module is for you to learn about meditation for yourself and to move through that. That's how you learn how to be able to teach something, is because you've personally experienced it, you've embodied it.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
had a question, David, about the cap for the cohorts?
There's no cap on the main group. There's a cap on the small groups, which usually we keep about to 5 to 7 people. But the main Zoom class, I don't know. I don't know if we have a problem where we need to cap it. Is that our problem? That would be a good one to have.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's the benefit of having those small groups is that you get to have that personalized attention. You really get to get close to the people in your cohort and feel comfortable enough because it can be really intimidating to start to lead meditations in front of other people. But by the time that you're doing that, you've been with these people for quite a while and have that nice comfort zone with that 5 to 6 people.
exactly. And we try to offer like large, medium, small, right? So our main group, small groups, and then if you do one-on-one, it's one-on-one. Everyone learns differently, so you might thrive. Some people thrive in the bigger group, in the medium-sized group. Somebody was asking, does this course integrate with the counseling community? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by integrate, but I would say definitely the tools are extremely useful. I've had countless students and clients who've been therapists, and I teach them meditation. I have some right now. We'll meet one-on-one. I'll walk them through meditation tools, and they'll use them for themselves, and then integrate them and use them with their clients. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
No,
say that.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't need a psychology degree. Meditation and mindfulness would be tools that psychologists and therapists may use with their clients. But in order for you to be a meditation teacher or to utilize mindfulness meditation in any of your, whether it's as a teacher, whether it's in any of the things that you may be doing with this, does not require a psychology degree.
can I just add, we didn't talk too much about the actual meditation styles and techniques that we're going to teach. So maybe we can talk about that for a minute. Um, and then a little bit, I think actually I want to go into more of me and Michael's and the other teachers' experience, but just briefly, some of the styles we're gonna be teaching. I just like to call them awareness or presence practices. If you look at a teacher, for example, like Eckhart Tolle, right? He's not in one lineage. And I think the way the world is moving, that it's not about the lineage as it is about the power of the tools that you learn and are they useful and practical to you. And when you look at an app like Insight Timer, for example, where a lot of teachers end up teaching, people don't care what lineage you're from. They care if you're going to help them solve their problem. If it's anxiety or fear, or they want to visualize something, or they want to fall asleep, can you help them with that? And so we'll be doing body scans. We'll be doing mindfulness. I always talk about the Four Noble Truths. Um, well, like we mentioned earlier, emotional regulation. We're going to go over the ones that we use the most and the ones that we like to work with our students and clients with. And so we'll structure it in a way where you won't feel overwhelmed, but you'll also have enough tools in your tool belt that you'll feel like, okay, when I go out into the world for this situation, I can use these practices, maybe one-on-one, some of these, and hopefully your tool belt of meditation techniques will be full.
Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I also wanted to just add that being a meditation teacher out in the world is kind of hard in the career sense. There's a lot of noise, right? We know there's a lot of meditation apps, there's a lot of YouTube channels, and a lot of podcasts, and a lot of new teachers can feel overwhelmed. Like, how do I start? Where do I go? Michael already does his stuff. Eckhart Tolle does his stuff. Where do I fit in? How am I different? And so part of the training is to help you find how you're different and what you have uniquely to offer. And part of that is your own life experience. And so if you're someone that loves video and you decide I'm going full YouTube, there is definitely room. There are billions and billions of people, the vast majority of which have never meditated. The vast majority are in suffering and in pain, and they need help. They need help sleeping. They need help with their relationships. They need help finding inner peace. They need help with crippling anxiety. Just last night, I was teaching to a healthcare company, and everyone there was like, I need help with anxiety. I need help with sleep. And so there is no shortage of problems to solve, and there are no shortage of people that need help. The idea that there are too many meditation teachers is not true. Um, there's not even close to enough, not even close. And so I think if you really find something you're passionate about and you go out in the world and teach in an authentic way, you will find your students and you will find your people. Now, you might need some structure and some strategy, which is what we're here to help you with. But I personally do not think we're anywhere near the amount of meditation teachers that we need on planet Earth. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? Let me just real quick. Sorry, there's always more I want to add. Just a couple other things. We'll go over course creation because that's a big one for students. Not just recording an audio, but how do you structure a course? If it's audio, video, put it out into the world. Every teacher here has built many, many courses. How do you create a retreat? If you're someone that wants to do retreats and fill retreats, how do you find and work with clients one-on-one? That tends to be the number one place that teachers get their income is working one-on-one. And so we'll also be going over all of that, teaching in person, teaching online, and building. You kind of, this isn't the kind of profession where you go to medical school, you get a job at a hospital as a doctor, right? Or you go to law school, you get a job as a lawyer. You have to make your own career. Maybe one day that'll change, but right now you have to build an ecosystem around you. And Michael and all the other teachers here have done a brilliant job of that. We had a student in one of our previous teacher trainings who was working at a corporation. She decided, I'm going to start teaching free mindfulness classes at the company for the employees. And then all of a sudden she decided, I'm going to pitch them. I just want to be the head of mindfulness. I want to leave my other position at the company and just teach mindfulness. And they said yes. And she was like, whoa, really? You're going to just pay me the same amount of money to just teach mindfulness? And they were like, yeah, we want that in our company. And so she switched her career over without ever even leaving her company after teacher training. So that was really cool. Let's see, Wayne, here, let me ask you to unmute. Go for it. Hey, Wayne. Oh, here, try to unmute one more time.
There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I couldn't put this in it wasn't brief enough to type out. So thank you for doing this. I'm a huge Inside Timer fan, and I have to say that however you did this, it was great to meet all the teachers because everyone is so different. You did that on purpose, but it's really cool. Like Lou's background versus Jamie's, like it's really, really neat. So congrats on this. So here's my question, and I was a little nervous because I feel like it's an unfair question. I have not asked this in the other ones I was in, but I thought now might be my only chance. So I've been meditating for a while. I've been dying to start teaching for a few years. I took a course through Mind Valley like years and years ago, or a meditation course, not a teaching course. So now I've watched the intro webinars for this one, and then the Chopra Center's one, and then the Dharma Moon's one. I don't know much about Dharma Moon at all. That's a pretty intense long one. And it seemed to me, Chopra Center, I've watched that one before. But my question maybe is obvious is, it's not like you can say that maybe you can tell me that there's a difference among them. Is there any reason to pick one or the other, or do you guys feel like it's personal, what resonates with you?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Any thoughts there?
Sure. Michael?
Yeah.
And I'm probably overthinking it, which is why I started meditating. You get to just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's the one that resonates you, that you feel the most comfortable with. Like if you're in this room today and you're feeling like I could see myself learning from these people, I could see myself in community with these people, maybe that's a good sign that this is the place to be. If you go to another intro session and you say, you know what, that one specific teacher was who I want to learn from and who I want to emulate in my teaching career, that's the great way. As I was saying before, different teachers bring different styles. And what I do love about what we're creating here is exactly what you said. There are so many different styles of teachers from so many different backgrounds that there are so many different opportunities to learn. It's not just one specific lineage. It's not that strict, this is how you teach. And if you deviate from that, you're wrong. It's we're going to embolden you to bring your voice into this world.
Yeah, exactly. If
Can
I
I
could
say
just,
something?
yes, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Okay. No, go ahead, Ed, go ahead.
Having been in this wonderful program for 3 years, I have to say that the real big difference, not only in the teachers, is that you actually are not lost in hundreds or thousands of people taking a course. You actually have one-on-one with us. You can pick a tutor, you can pick someone to work with for months, someone who you trust to feel, because sometimes, when you bring a lot of light into your life, you also bring shadows. The light causes shadows to come out. And you need to have someone that you trust, you know. And if you're lost and there's only two teachers up there and they're not available because there's thousands of people in the course, you don't get that personal attention, which really can make a difference, you
Yeah,
know. So,
exactly. Yeah.
mm,
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not going to be, I don't expect thousands. Um, Thank you, Ed. Let me just add one last thing, which was what happened to me yesterday. So my neighbor who I ran into did a very prominent teacher training. Um, it was it was good in many ways, but they did not prepare her to actually do it as a profession. They only taught her the meditation techniques. And so she felt very lost. And so I do think one of the differentiators is that everyone here built their own business around their teaching successfully. And so if that is part of what you want to do, then this is probably a pretty good place to learn. Michael has reached millions and millions of students. Many of us have many students in our courses and classes and books and podcasts, and so we get to create in the world this way. And if you
mm,
do, for example, a training if you do a training that is specifically just Buddhism or a training that is just one technique like mantra, that's great. You'll go deep with that one technique. This is a broader awareness practices for a broader audience, and so I think that is one of the differences as well. So if you don't want a teacher training just in mindfulness, then don't do a teacher training just in mindfulness. But if you do, then that's for you. So I would be very conscious of what the actual tools are that they're teaching you, and if those are the ones that you want to learn and want to teach. Yeah.
mm.
Thank you. Thanks for that question, Wayne. Thank you. Let me see. If you will,
Kevin,
go ahead, Michael.
yeah, I was just going to say, Kevin had a really interesting question about does this teach you how to become self-employed meditation teacher or meditation speaker? And I think that's what I love about what we're creating here is that it does. It really guides you through the business setup of this. I will say in the beginning, I never wanted my name attached to it to be the Michael Galyon show. I always
Yeah.
wanted it, I wanted to hide behind a business. I wanted to hide behind something else. And there is a benefit in being able to have the tools that you learn be what you're bringing forward. It's the modalities that you're bringing forward, so it doesn't feel like it's just you. And I think if you can figure out the right business setup, which is what we're going to teach you in this, it becomes an easy thing because you're just bringing forth a product that happens to be attached to you as opposed to you feeling like you're selling yourself as this product.
Mm, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Thank
Really
you.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone was asking, what if I'm not sure if I want to be a teacher at all? Can I do this training? Of course you can.
Ooh.
Yeah, when I started, I had no intention of being a teacher, and I was just taking classes and trainings because I loved it, and unfolded naturally. So if there's a passion, I mean, if you're on this call, then clearly there's interest and passion. But you can take all of these tools and you can integrate them into your life. You don't have to be a professional meditation teacher. You can still
Yeah.
get a lot out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I initially was using it to teach preschool
Yeah.
and to be in there. So
Yeah.
it changes over time. It evolves.
Someone
Yeah.
was asking about, can I teach? I don't want to build my own business as much as maybe just teach at companies. There are countless companies these days that hire meditation teachers to come teach and sometimes hire you to be in-house. I worked with a company, SAP, which is the largest software company in Europe. I was doing a talk for them, and at the time, they had at least 4 full-time mindfulness teachers and a head of mindfulness, uh, and for their 100,000 employees. And so there are a lot of companies these days. Jamie Wozni, she teaches at Hulu, at NBC, at all these other, she has a whole list of places that she goes and teaches regularly at. So that is definitely a possibility, to do that. And I think it'll be more and more so as companies realize that their productivity is connected to the happiness and well-being of their employees. They're going to realize meditation is the cheapest way to get there. Yeah.
One thing, if I may say, is that becoming a meditation teacher is not just learning what to say and learning how to lead people to do something. You actually grow and become a meditation teacher, not just so. For anyone who doesn't may not want to do this, at the end of this course, you will learn, you will grow in your awareness and your ability just to be a more powerful, more full human being.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people come to the course, they just want to learn and they get so far, but the people who really allow themselves to grow, they become very, very powerful because
Yeah.
the people that they teach see that they've grown, they see their growth, they feel their energy, and they want to follow them and they want to learn from them.
And those make the best teachers. Absolutely. Thank you, Ed. Are are there, I know we're at time. Did I miss any questions, Michael? Did you see
I think we
anything?
have Ashley just raised her
Go ahead,
hand.
Ashley. Okay.
Sorry,
You're
this
good.
is based on what Ed just said, though, but um, because I do imagine that we would be growing a lot as we are going through this process. And so, can this also sort of be our own healing journey
Ooh,
as we're going through this training to then also,
Absolutely.
teach others?
absolutely,
I-
absolutely.
yeah, I
It
think
has
it
to be.
has to
It
be.
has to be,
Yeah.
you know, has to be that part of you healing so that you can help others heal.
Can I?
Love that.
Yeah, and Ashley, in our last training, we had someone. She was very public about this, and she shares about it all the time, so I can say it. But she spent a lot of time in prison, and she came out and she wanted to be a meditation teacher, and now she is. She took the training last time around. She's integrating the tools. She also wants to teach other people coming out of prison and in prison. There are people who, for example, some mothers who want to teach prenatal meditation. They want to teach meditation to pregnant mothers. There are people who teach meditation specifically. We have a teacher here who's pregnant right now. She's not here. Carrie Bethan. She focuses on mindfulness and trauma, and so she helps people deal with their trauma through mindfulness. And so there are very niche directions that you can take your practice in based on your own life experience and what you're healing in yourself. And I think that is the best thing you can do, in terms of your meditation teacher path, is choose what is the most meaningful to you that you have experience with. As you heal yourself, you help other people heal in that same arena. So
It's like a 2 for 1.
exactly.
If you need to do the healing work and you are interested in becoming a teacher.
Yeah. And, maybe one day there'll be meditation teachers just for astronauts. Someone was an astronaut and, you know, who knows? The niches will really surprise you how many there are. They're almost endless. What's one more question? Let's see. I've been involved in Buddhist Dharma for 28 years. Cool. Yeah. I want to go beyond that at 72. Wonderful. I just spent some time in Nepal. Yeah. All right. Let's see. how do I know if I could be a teacher? Essentially, is the question. Well, it sounds like you have more than enough experience. Now you just might need some tools and structure.
Yeah. And if that desire is there and that desire to help others get the benefits that you have learned through these tools, then that's all you need.
Yeah. Just like in any profession, when you have a certain energy and someone trusts you, it's all about relationship. It really, that's what it all comes down to. And if you have a client and you help them and they come back over and over and they're healing and growing and you're getting to have a career, I mean, that is an incredible win for everybody. But your energy has to attract that and has to build trust and that you learn over time and that you learn as you become a teacher. So we hope to help you walk that path throughout this training and pop you out of the oven. A nice cooked, ready to go meditation teacher. That doesn't mean you won't have more years of arc of learning and teaching and growing and making mistakes. I made more mistakes than you could imagine in my early teaching career. So the path doesn't end there. I think a new phase will begin at the end of this training. And I hope that this training gives you enough confidence and enough tools to be able to go out in the world and help other people cultivate awareness and heal and grow. And if we can lower the amount of anxiety and pain on this planet, we can avoid catastrophe. So that's my even bigger goal. That is our time. Anything else, Michael, before we finish?
No, I'm just excited for people. I'm so glad that there's so many people who are here. If you have any questions that come, I know we had some questions that we didn't get to. So if you have any, shoot us an email and ask. I know there's some questions about payment plans and other things, but just shoot us an email and we can get those through.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for being here with us, everyone watching, listening, on recording, all the teachers, and of course, thank you, Michael, for sharing your love and light with us today and all your wisdom. And I can't wait to be in the training with you all. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All
Thank
right. We'll
you.
see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.